This is the Friday teams. Thanks very much to TABtouch for making this happen. We're here on Friday, Rhino.
Unbelievable.
Got the touch. Download the TABtouch app today. What's gambling really costing you? For free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelponline.org.au. Hello.
We've got a new show. We turn up here on a Friday and you are completely rattled.
Oh, clearly by the end of the week, mate, I'm tapped out, but we're back in. I got to readjust my the flow of how my week looks.
Yeah.
My energy
ease
levels.
up on the cush on a Thursday night,
yeah,
clearly,
no
or a Friday
worries.
morning, whatever you're doing. Now, we hinted at this a while back, that there may be more of us.
Yes, correct.
Now, you might notice that one of us is missing today. Now,
There's a large hole.
It's a large hole. This is not a contract holdover from Xavier Ellis. He's just on holiday.
It's a power move.
It's a power move. He's not here, but he will be here every Friday from now on. We may hear from him a little later. But this is exciting because TABtouch have come on board. They've said, hey, boys, can you do another pod later in the week? And we said, sure, why not? Let's do it. We're going to go through every single game. We're going to tell you who we think is going to win. We're going to talk about the ins and the outs. We're going to try to place a couple of multis and have a crack at the end.
Correct.
We're going to have a bit of fun every Friday.
And we're going to roll through it. Well, we might as well jump straight into it with last night's game. Essendon 9-18-72 defeated Port Adelaide 8-12-60. Not one for the, I was going to say like DVR. Remember we used to record stuff on like a DVD player?
Remember the name a game? You used to be able to order a game. They used to advertise it. And you'd say,
that.
You know what I want? Round 8. You know,
not that I've ever ordered one, but like the ability to go back and find a game.
I would still do that.
Yeah, I would do that.
I tell you what, no one would be ordering last night's game because that was a dog's breakfast. The two coaches should have walked into the middle of Marvel at the end of the game, got on a microphone and apologised to everyone who had to watch it at home and had to be there at the ground who hadn't already left. Shout out to Essendon who got a win. We don't think they're going to get
We've got to celebrate their wins.
We've got to celebrate the wins. Port Adelaide, that is a worry for them. They are now 1-2 and they beat up on Richmond last week.
Yeah, that's Richmond on Port Adelaide's home deck. Like everyone's going to do that to Richmond, basically.
Correct.
If you're not a Victorian team and you don't beat up Richmond when they come to town, you've got problems.
Yeah, and also it's going to be what we look back at the end of the season with Carlton and go, geez, you let that one get away. Like,
correct.
Don't be the one team that loses to Richmond because they're not going to win many.
Who was it? Who lost to West Coast that year? Was it Sydney or someone? And then they basically went undefeated after that.
Yeah, I can't remember off the top of my head, but there was last year was the one where Sydney lost to Richmond.
Sydney, that's right.
And Sydney, obviously had a fantastic year otherwise, but that
it was
one game.
It was Collingwood losing to West Coast.
That's right.
That's
right.
That's the one I'm thinking of.
Geez, I'm a bit sore.
What's happened? I heard you complaining.
I had basketball last night and didn't score 50 last night. Give you the hot tip.
I'm shocked.
But this peanut on the other team. He's one of those dudes. Every time he drives, he screams like he's been fouled. He throws his arms and legs around. He's one of those dudes. So I'm defending him. He's come at me and he's sort of given me the fend off like offensively, trying to create some space. And he's hit me in this spot between a couple of the ribs. And I did not sleep at all last night. I'm in so much pain every time I move or breathe. I'm in pain.
It's not like you have to host a lunch in a couple of hours or anything either.
No, with Andrew Dillon.
Yeah. And Dylan McDaniels.
I was at 3 a.m. I literally rolled over and Googled, am I bleeding internally? Like, what are the signs? I was like, I had to get up for radio at 6. I was like, if I go to emergency now, will I be able to get to radio? This was what I was doing at 3 a.m.
Just drain the blood.
Yeah, so I'm not feeling great.
That reminds me, there was a bloke I played footy with who came off and he was like, oh, my guts are really sore, like something's going on. The trainer just looked at him and sort of poked him and then said, oh, did you have one of those hot dogs from the canteen? Yeah, I did. Yeah, my guts are no good either. That's what it is. And then he was in hospital later that night with a kidney injury.
No. Maybe I've got a kidney injury. Don't say that sort of stuff because my brain will just go through it. All right,
keep an eye on your lunch, mate.
So we covered off Essendon and Port Adelaide.
We don't need.
So what are we going to?
Zach Merritt, 34.
Yeah.
Let's forget that game.
We're going to do... No,
except Christian Moraes. I really liked him.
I do like him.
Yeah.
I do like him,
It was especially late. He seemed like the only one who wanted Port Adelaide to win.
Yeah, he can run.
Yeah.
He can move. I don't think he should come out of that team. I think they're heading to the space where they need guys in the team. So we're going to go through... We're going to do a 2-minute warning style, right?
I think so,
We'll go through every game. We'll give it 2 minutes. We'll talk about who we think might win the game and what's going on, the ins and the outs, all right?
Yep.
Let's do it. Carlton and the Western Bulldogs first.
Yeah, you roll through that one. We'll take turns of doing the teams and everything else.
Okay, cool. So that's tonight, Marvel Stadium. The ins and the outs, Jordan Boyd, Francis Evans in, Cam Pirelli.
Yeah, I thought he looked all right.
I know.
I don't know why they're dropping. But who knows what goes on at Carlton?
They're panicking.
Yeah.
They're panicking, and Lord is out as well. For the Western Bulldogs, Liam Jones and James O'Donnell in, so that's two key
tools,
defenders.
yeah.
And Taylor Duray and Arthur Jones out. So
what is the makeup of that team?
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? It's almost like they named that team expecting to have Curnow and Mackay. But that Mackay's obviously not playing for Carlton. This is a big game. The Doggies are favourites, $1.80 versus $2.02 for Carlton.
Yep.
And I feel like that's probably about right. When I went to tip this game, I was like, this is the hardest game of the round to tip, I reckon.
How do you pronounce Fraser's name?
I think we're going with Fraser.
Fraser.
It's not Freya.
Someone said Freya, I heard the other day.
I
don't know if it was.
Freya.
I can't remember. Was it someone professional or just someone?
I don't reckon it's Freya.
I heard.
We need to clarify this though, because
Fraser, because he's our guy.
Well, he's one of our guys.
But Isaac Rankin is our guy, and haven't said his name right for 6 years.
Haven't said it right. So who do you like?
Western Bulldogs. Because I don't think Carlton are any good.
Yeah, well, the thing is that the pressure continues to mount on these teams. Like, so if Carlton are 0-3, you don't rule a line through them yet. We saw that with Hawthorn and Brisbane. But you just need.
But it's hard.
The degree of difficulty, the window of opportunity starts to shrink,
and that's fine for like a Brisbane last year, who were coming off a grand final, and they're a good side, so you think, there's a slim window of opportunity, but I don't think Carlton are in that bracket.
No.
So if they go 0-3 and then 0-4, it's just no good.
And Curnow's not right. He just doesn't look right. He barely touched the footy last week. Him and Mackay. De Koning is killing it in the ruck.
Yeah.
But you don't even have him as another forward that you can use unless you're going to play Pitnet, which they've decided not to.
No.
So it's a bit murky. I do like Jordan Boyd, who's come into the team. I do think when he plays, he shows little glimpses every now and then. He's another guy. He could be 21, he could be 28. I have no idea how old Jordan Boyd is. But we both think the Western Bulldogs, but we don't feel confident.
No, I'm confident.
Oh, you're
Western
confident?
Bulldogs. Yeah, I'm confident.
Right, you're
Bulldogs
in.
Get it done.
Okay.
But, what does that mean? All right, we'll slide into Melbourne versus the Gold Coast Saturday at the MCG. Melbourne's ins. There's a bit of a wholesale turnover. Stephen May, Aidan Johnson, Jack Billings, Jake Milksham, Harvey Langford. And outs are Jefferson, Spargo, Woden, Turner and Howes. I'm glad to see Langford back in. I think he killed it in the VFL. I was surprised he went out. Gold Coast ins. This just tells you the tail of the tape. In, number 1, Mac Andrew. Jed Walter, Sam Flanders out, Charlie Ballard, Ben Ainsworth and Alex Sexton. So Gold Coast are favourites, paying $1.77, Melbourne $2.05. What's your read on it, Rhino?
This will give us a real indication on both of these teams. I think like Gold Coast, we saw them against West Coast. They flogged them. Everybody looked great. Rioli looked great. Rao looked great. Anderson looked great. Witts was amazing. They were all cylinders firing. Now, they've lost Ballard. They bring in Andrew. That's a pretty decent replacement, although they're not the same type of player.
Not the same type of player.
I love Flanders as an inclusion. I'm a big Jed Walter guy.
Flanders has been injured, right?
Flanders has been injured. Yeah,
and Jed Walter, what did he miss round 1?
He was suspended
for
that first game. Yeah, he would have missed opening round, but then they canned that game.
Gold Coast have brought in 3 of their best 10?
Well, Walter, we still don't know, but at least 2 of the best 10.
Well, he's up there potential-wise.
If you're pushing forward, yes.
And then Melbourne, you'll say, who's in their best? Well, Stephen May, yes. The rest of them, they're sort of fringe players they're changing in and out here.
Yeah, I don't love the ins and the outs for Melbourne. It read to me as like a very much a same old. Stephen May's obviously a big inclusion.
Yes.
Harvey Langford, I think they need to play all year.
Yeah, I don't understand why they dropped him after round 1.
Anyway. And the outs are, there's nothing sexy about that Melbourne team.
No,
put it that way. And it's $1.77 Gold Coast, $2.05 Melbourne. I reckon Gold Coast is just about the best value there of the week. Like
at $1.77.
I think they're going to kill him.
Yeah, I think they're going to kill him as well. That's why I've gone in. I think they later in the pod when we do our same game multi.
I tell you what,
pretty Suns heavy.
If Gold Coast are 2-0 with a trip to Optus and a trip to the G, it sets them up very well. They're going to play finals. Like they're so good at home, we know that. And if they can bank 2 early wins at places they normally don't win. Geez, that's
the one
huge.
I'm keeping an eye on is if this Matt Rowell season is real after one game. If that's consistent.
Then we're looking at Brownlow odds, aren't we?
Oh, yeah.
St Kilda and Richmond. Jeez. I mean, first week St Kilda are awful. Second week they beat Geelong. Richmond first week were great. Second week they got flogged by Port. We still don't know which of these versions of these teams is real. This is on Saturday. It's Marvel Stadium. It's a very early start. If you're in WA, I think it's 10:15. I think if you're over east, it's 1:15.
What do we got? Like 1 week left of daylight savings?
Yeah, something like that. The ins, Cooper Sharman, who I kind of like, kind of bobs up. Like, anytime goal scorer, Cooper Sharman, like he always bobs up.
Killed Freo.
Toby Travaglia.
Yeah, this is smart by St Kilda.
Yeah.
If it's like not looking like a
because how would you have said it? Travaglia.
No, I was at Travaglia.
Yeah, so
Lapalia.
When I first saw
Anthony
it, I would have
Lapalia.
said Travaglia.
And Jonathan Lapalia.
Don't forget Jonathan.
Don't forget Jonathan, mate. I think Jonathan's gone past Anthony if we're ranking Lapalias.
Jonathan's gone past Anthony.
Well, yeah, because he's hosting Survivor. He's more active currently.
He's
ripped.
How do you keep in touch with the
to be fair, I don't know what
the Lapalias.
Anthony Lapalia's done recently. I'm going to check it out while
he's
you read
had a great career.
He's had a massive career.
A great career.
But I'm saying, like, on current form, Jonathan's gone past Anthony.
Jesus, rough. So Toby put out a video yesterday saying his own name, which I love. More of this, please.
Oh, he's okay.
Yes, because you would have had Travaglias, you would have had Travalia, which is what you've been going with. Apparently, it's Travaglia.
Travaglia.
Which really annoyed me because I was like, where's the exotic Travaglia? Like,
Travaglia.
There's an Italian.
Wait, so say it again?
Travaglia.
So are we saying it's Anthony and Jonathan Lapalia?
I think you're the only one saying anything about the Lapalia family at this point.
No,
okay?
Jonathan, tell you he's on the
St
rise.
Kilda are out. Liam Stocker is out, and Hunter Clark is out. We do like Travaglia, by the way.
Yeah, no,
this kid can move. He can rack up the footy. I don't know what his odds are.
Sort of floating halfback defender who dashes, right?
Yeah.
So what do they play him on a halfback flank, maybe?
Yeah, halfback flank, 100%. That's where they're going to play him.
Hopefully not. There has been a pattern. Last year I thought we got out of this, but there has been another making the debut as a sub pattern that started. So hopefully he just plays. Although he is coming off injury, isn't he?
I think he was underdone in the pre-season, but he's ready to go. Like this kid, I like him a lot.
Hunter Clark, yeah.
I'd love to know what his odds are to get like 20 touches. I like this kid.
Yeah.
I like this kid a lot. Richmond, Tom Lynch and Tyler Sonsier in. Sam Banks, Liam Fawcett out. I think St Kilda's going to win, and I think they're going to win big. Jack McRae, big day coming. You might see him in my multi.
Oh, Jack McRae, yeah, maybe make him captain. Brisbane versus Geelong, Saturday night at the Gabba. Brisbane's ins are Charlie Cameron and Kyle Lohman. There's a bit of firepower there. And the outs are Connor McKenna and Will McLaughlin. Geelong in, speaking of firepower, Bailey Smith. Outs are Mark O'Connor. Brisbane heavy favourites, $1.50. Geelong's $2.60. Who knows, actually?
Yeah, so
no idea what's going to happen.
For starters, Bailey Smith and Tom Stewart, big injury clouds. Bailey Smith missed last week. Tom Stewart came off with that knee issue. Chris Scott says they're fine. We expect them to play. They're on the plane.
Good luck.
Do you believe anybody less about team stuff than you do Chris Scott?
I don't know. Do they actually think they get some kind of advantage out of this? Do they actually get some kind of advantage out of this?
They do it pretty well, so maybe they do. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe it's worked for them.
It's silly buggers, but apparently the weather up there has been pretty awful. It's been pretty slippery, and the ball may stay that way, so I don't know what to expect. A night game at the Gabba is always kind of gross.
Shout out to the Gabba too. Let's enjoy the Gabba while we have it.
Are you a Gabba guy?
No, but it's getting demolished. Yeah, it's just
gross, mate.
It's not a great experience.
It is awful. My only experience at the Gabba was the grand final in 2020.
Yep.
And it just reminded me of a more disgusting Subi. And Subi
that would be
Subi
hard.
was a special place in all of our hearts in WA. But by the time it went, it was like this place needs to be bulldozed.
I loved how they had the wooden benches with little painted stripes for how big the seats are. Yeah. They didn't adjust for the size of people over the years.
Yeah, no. It's 1940s weights. Everybody weighed 62 kilos.
Yeah, and 3 chairs for the price of one. Yeah. Somebody sit in the aisle.
3 onions and a potato for the week. Meanwhile, old mate's drinking 4 pints and having 3 pies at half time. He's not fitting into that seat. I think, who's going to win this game?
I think Brisbane are going to win it.
They're heavy favourites, $1.50 to $2.60.
Yeah, well, they seem
that seems high.
Well, and I think they're sort of backing on Geelong. Nobody knows what the hell's going on there, whether they're any good or not.
There's still a few teams we are trying to get a read on.
Yeah.
I reckon there's a bit of value in Geelong, maybe at the line.
Yeah, maybe potentially.
I reckon there's a little bit of value there. Hawthorn and GWS cannot wait for this game. I'm kind of bummed that it's in Tassie. No offence to Tassie.
Yeah.
But I just want to...
Just the wind and stuff affects the game a bit more than normal.
But you know what? Maybe they'll put on a show. Hawthorn, Luke Bruce to come in. Conor McDonald's missing with that ankle, which is a bummer, but it's only 2 or 3 weeks apparently.
Perfect.
GWS, big name wins. Big. This is imposing. Jake Stringer, Jesse Hogan, Kieran Briggs as the ins for Callum Brown, Max Grzuski, and James Leake.
That's a significant. That's a similar to who we just
Three
talked about before.
upgrades.
Yeah, it's like three of your best. So they'd be in the best 15 or most important 15 players.
What are we expecting from the package?
Yeah, who knows? He's probably going to come out and kick 4 or 5, right?
Well, I get a feeling they'll probably look for him.
Yeah.
Right? You would assume that they will try to find a way to get him involved. What's he paying for? He's paying $1.33 for any time goal.
Okay.
Right? To me, he is a shoo-in to kick a goal because anytime you get a guy like him up there, they're going to start feeding him.
Yeah.
Let's get Jakey a goal. Let's make him feel like, even if it's a Joe the Goose over the top in the goal square,
he's going to get something.
He's going to kick at least one. I can't see how he doesn't unless there's an injury of some kind. That forward line is starting to look really potent. Hogan, Stringer, Green, Daniels, Cadman, that
Cameron.
is dangerous.
Darcy, no, not Darcy. Cameron.
Who?
Jones.
Oh, your little man, Darcy Jones. Mate, they are, honestly, they have a very potent team. These are the two best teams in it for me at the moment. I can't wait for this game. GWS $2.55?
Well, that's the Tassie factor.
Jeez, but that's $1.52 to $2.55.
That's got to be
with
the Tassie
those
factor.
Inclusions.
Unless somebody knows something we don't.
Mate, that's, I don't know what the line.
Yeah,
the line there is the bet.
Yeah,
that's
I
huge.
believe so.
That's disrespectful.
10.5 is the line.
I reckon that's a mistake from TABtouch.
Yeah,
Let's get in before they change it.
The next one, well, you're speaking about form teams in the competition. Adelaide.
No, hold on. No. Stop.
What?
I'm so sick of this. Adelaide are surprise contenders.
Yeah,
They've beaten Essendon and St Kilda. Of all the
They're
hot
second
takes,
on the ladder.
No. Of all the hot takes early in the season, and we've had plenty. We've had more hot takes this season than we've ever had before.
It's not a hot take.
Adelaide suddenly being a premiership contender
Mate, there's no
on the
suddenly.
back of 2 wins against 2 shit teams.
There's no suddenly. This was predicted.
Mate,
if you go back to the over-unders, this was all predicted.
No, this is
Just don't listen to anything I said after locking, but this was a building. This has been building.
Well, now they're $1.10 favourites against North. Playing
gather
at home.
around, jumper.
So they'll win that?
No, not a fan.
No, I love it.
It looks good, but it's not enough. They haven't done enough.
It's not winning enough for you.
I would have blacked out the crow. You know?
No, they're gonna win now again. They'll be 3-0, and I'm gonna have to put up with this,
North Melbourne,
this crap for another week of Adelaide being unbeatable.
So the ins are Billy Dowling, Luke Nankervis, and Toby Murray. This is a Sunday game, so we don't have the final teams
so this
yet.
is squads. You wouldn't think
so
Adelaide won't make any changes.
And North Melbourne's in Riley Hardiman, Callan Dawson, and Finbar Marley, brother of Annalie Marley, Perth Lynx superstar, plays for the LA Sparks.
What?
Annalie Marley, she's unreal. She's a great basketballer.
There you go.
Shout out.
Geez, you come out with some strange stuff.
What are you talking about, mate? She's an Australian representative. Playing in the WNBA.
You do no research 95% of the time. And then when it comes to Finbar Marley, you know his entire family backstory.
I got a stat on Finbar Marley. His old man played NBL. I can't remember his name.
My goodness. But I ask you who's going to win Geelong Brisbane. You're like, I don't know.
I don't know. But Adelaide will win this one.
Finbar Marley, when he was 8, used to have Wheat Bix for breakfast. He had 4.
So Adelaide paying $1.10, North Melbourne $6.50. So that's the shortest.
Are we sure?
Yeah,
Are we sure that North can't make this a game?
Actually, no, not sure. So at Adelaide Oval, they should be fine. But
I reckon North can make it a game.
Well, the concern for North is that their backline's not flash. And Adelaide's forward line is unbelievable.
Oh, apparently.
Yeah, it is, mate.
It's the best forward line in history of the game.
This has been building.
I'm telling you. This is the Derby. West Coast versus Fremantle. West Coast paying $4. Fremantle $1.25.
I'm scared, eh?
He should be.
Yeah.
West Coast's in. Jack Graham, he is in. Matt Flynn probably won't play. Bo Allen is a watch. Jack Williams. The out is Jack
Bo Allen,
Petruccelli.
you reckon Bo Allen plays?
I think Hoff missed training yesterday with an illness.
Yeah,
if he's not good, I reckon you might see Bo Allen. We'll know by this afternoon, obviously. And for Fremantle, Isaiah Dudley.
Yeah.
Now, this guy I would describe as Kmart Rioli.
Okay.
When Willie Rioli...
Not Timu. That's Timu's disrespectful.
When Willie came into the AFL, we're all like, this guy? Like, he looks really unfit and he's kind of small. But as soon as he started playing, you were like, oh, wow. Okay, he makes things happen. Now, Dudley is probably a class below Rioli, but he is clever and he does make things happen with the footy. He will be an opportunistic guy. And I reckon Freo haven't had a player like this. I mean, Sonny is a bit like this.
Yeah, yep.
But Dudley is a typical crumbing small forward. And I kind of reckon it's a good thing for them. Now, it's a big stage for him to come in. We'll see how he goes. Carl Warner and James Aish, I reckon one of them plays in that
replace
as the
Walker.
Walker role, yes. And then Liam Reedy is into the squad, but I think they're going to stick with Jackson again as the ruckman.
Yeah, so the question will be who goes out for Dudley.
Yeah, Walker's out for 3 months with the shoulder. I don't know. I'd watch maybe Erasmus.
Oh, Bailey Banfield.
Like that
Well,
space.
Erasmus is named on the field, which makes me
Was
think
he
he's
really?
going to play, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Which is good. They just need to figure it out whether
So
they can
who's
play or
winning the
not.
Derby?
Well, I'll say Fremantle, but I said that going into the
By how
first one
much?
last
Give
year.
me a Derby tip and your medalist.
Fremantle by 35. Medalist will be Luke Jackson.
Luke Jackson, I like that. He's going to ruck against either Bailey Williams or Matt Flynn and or Archer Reed, and he'll probably have a day out. And he's been in pretty good touch, Jackson.
Oh, yeah.
He's been in really good touch, so I don't hate that at all. I am going to go really safe, but I think Fremantle win the game. I reckon it's about 22 points.
Yep.
I reckon West Coast will be a bit more of a fight than people might think.
Yeah, yep.
And Caleb Sarong has 3 medals.
Hazelby's
Paul
got the
Hazelby
most.
has 4.
Yeah.
I reckon after Sunday, Caleb Sarong will equal Paul Hazelby. Do you know there's 7 players who have won 3 medals? Can you name them?
Let's go with Sandlands?
No.
No. Michael Barlow?
Yes. Zabe's man?
Chris Judd?
Yes.
Caleb Sarong.
Yes.
Michael Barlow, Chris Judd, Caleb Sarong, Paul Hazelby.
No, he's won 4. So
I
there's only
thought it
3.
was a 3 plus.
No, only 3.
Well, who else is on 3?
Josh Kennedy.
Josh Kennedy.
Shannon Hearn.
Oh, this is right. Yeah.
Lockie Neal.
Yep.
And there's one more that I'm forgetting.
This is
I
great.
can't remember. I did it for this quiz for this lunch today. It's I can't
shit,
remember.
I'm
who it
gonna
is.
win.
I can't remember who it is, but I'm sure they were very, very good. All right, so now we're going to do this segment every week where you and I and Zave, we create a multi, which is going to go on the TABtouch app. So
Yes.
you can actually follow
follow us
our
in.
bets. They're going to put it in trending bets on the TABtouch app. So
We just
download
need
the
to
app.
highlight gamble very responsibly when it comes to our bets.
Exactly. Normally gamble responsibly. With our bets, gamble extremely responsibly.
Yeah.
You can boost your odds with that. Combine up to 16 legs with a single game into one bet. 16 legs. I'm going to do that one week.
You're going to do the 16?
I'm going to do a 16
Yeah, I
and
think
try
I'm
to
going to do
pull it
16.
off.
Because then Josh is going to have to type it out in a run sheet for us.
So you can find it all under trending bets on the TABtouch app, as I said. Okay, so do you want to go first?
I'll go first. So I'm going to go in on the Gold Coast Melbourne game. So Ethan Reid, 2 goals plus. Cade Chandler, anytime goal scorer.
He's in form.
Cade Chandler, yeah, this is what I'm saying. So and then Gold Coast win by 16 plus, and that gets you $6.
I don't hate that.
Mate, it was pared down from I initially typed out one which was pretty outlandish, and then I thought I'd try to just get something under the belt for the first week.
I don't hate that. Okay, so I've gone what is it? Ethan Reid 2+ goals, Cade Chandler anytime goal scorer, Gold Coast 16 plus, and you get $6 for that. That's not bad. I'm going to do the St Kilda Richmond game because I think this game is going to be just all over the place. Jack McRae 30+ disposals. That feels like an absolute lock. Darcy Wilson. Anytime goal scorer.
I like that.
Get a good boost from that one. Seth Campbell, the backflip, because I reckon there's going to be pressure to see whether he'll do it again when they're trailing by 75 points.
It took me a while.
Right?
Seth Campbell's a Richmond player.
Yeah,
Plays
Seth
AFL
Campbell,
football.
anytime goal scorer. And St Kilda to win by 16 plus. Now that pays $5.75.
Yes, okay, some safe ones, safe legs there.
Now our man, who will be here next week, but is in Melbourne just doing many, many things over there, no doubt getting some cashies as well. He has sent in his multi of the week. Let's have a listen.
All right, Friday night footy. Let's kick it off. Blockbuster, of course. The Doggies are going better than I expected, and Carlton are going like a busted. Charlie Curnow, 2 goals. Of course, no Harry Mackay. Aaron Norton to take a bit of pressure off Darcy for 2. Sam Walsh is also someone who's come under the gun in the spotlight a fraction. 25 disposals. Ed Richards has been a star, is a star. 25 disposals. And the former Docker, Adam Cher, has started the season pretty well. 20 disposals, $6.75.
All right, I don't hate it. He's probably a bit more experienced in this space than you or I.
He's laying him out pretty good.
I would say he'd be having a multi on just about every game. But it's exciting. Go to the trending bets section on the TABtouch app.
Got the touch. Download the TABtouch app today. What's gambling really costing you? For free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelponline.org.au. All right, this has been the TABtouch teams on a Friday. Well done. How'd you feel? How'd you feel we went in the first
Pretty good, not bad.
We rolled through it.
So we're going to be doing Monday's 2-minute warning.
Mondays,
we're
2 minute
going to be
warning.
doing the Tuesday.
Yeah, we come in separately on Tuesday to record a
We come in
mailbag.
separately Tuesday to do the mailbag, and we'll be back on Friday, every Friday for team. So 3 episodes a week. Give us a crack on the Fridays.
Yeah.
We'll try to win you some money. We'll just have a bit of a
Hit
laugh.
that subscribe button. All right. We'll see you next time.